Hello everyone, this is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2. Welcome back to the next installment of our Time for a Cuppa video, a celebration of tea. We're coloring out of the Time for a Cuppa celebration of tea coloring book by Jen Racine, and we are drinking the tea as we go along. So today is video number 9. So we have gone through Assam, boba, Ceylon, chai, chamomile, dandelion, Darjeeling, Earl Grey, and today is English breakfast. So I do have my English breakfast tea. I spilled some on this when I was looking at it earlier. So I do have my tea. I do have a little milk and sugar in it, or sweetener as the case may be. So English breakfast tea, I believe in England is just known as breakfast tea, because I think all my research has shown that we coined the term English breakfast in America, which makes sense. If they have something in Germany known as American dressing, and it is fabulous. We have nothing like it here, but it is very tasty, and I wish we did. I think it's supposed to be Thousand Island, but it's different. That's the closest thing that I can relate it to. Anyway, I'm not talking about dressing. So it's an example of how things get changed around. Because, you know, if you're in England and you're drinking a breakfast tea, you don't call it English breakfast tea because you're in England. Anyway, which I think I have some examples that'll show you. And they're, according to the history, they have shown that breakfast tea has existed. They have documentation of it since the 18th century, so the 1700s. And it is basically only a blend of black tea. That's it. I mean, it's typically a blend of about 4 black teas. Now, everyone does it different. Every company has a different blend, and they may add something different here and there. It is typically a blend of 4 different black teas: an Assam, a Ceylon, a Kenyan, and a Keeman tea. So you've got, so it's a layer of flavors that if you do it right, they blend together and it makes its own flavor. So you've got your Assam, which is malty and bitter. You've got your Ceylon, which is piney and sour. You've got your Kenyan, which is fruity and floral, and your Keeman, which is citric and smoky. You don't realize that all of these different flavors, I mean, it's like wine. You know, people say, oh, it has a fruity flavor. No, it doesn't. I mean, I've never tasted some of the, I mean, fruit wine, yes, but like, I'm not getting notes of chocolate and cherry. I'm sorry. To me, tea is kind of the same way, but then again, I'm not a tea snob. I don't taste teas for a living, and I respect the people that do, to find those flavors. So, you know, you're not going to necessarily taste those things, in my opinion. Now, some people do. You should just taste a fabulous black tea, honestly. So the one that I'm drinking is from Tea House, which is in Ann Arbor, and my writing is terrible. And this one, if I can keep from getting it everywhere, maybe. It's gonna go everywhere. It's just gonna go everywhere. So you can see that it is, even though they're all black teas, they are different. Some of them are brownish, some are black, some have a greenish flavor. So that's this blend. you know, then the two that I have, so I did get this one from World Market, and this is a majestic breakfast. So these are, I'm assuming, marketed in the Kew Gardens or for the Kew Gardens, which is in England. So that's why it's called a breakfast tea, and not English breakfast. But it was a good example. You could see the difference, if you can see down in here. You can't really, it's a different blend because you can't really see the greenish leaves. And then this one, which is, I think this one's called newenglishteas.com, and they're from England. So this one's just called breakfast tea. This is a fancy little tin I bought, and it looks completely different also. So I don't know what their blends are. They don't tell you. They just tell you black tea. So you basically just kind of try different ones and find out which ones you like. So that is that. Let me get rid of my tea that fell on my book. All right, I've got tea everywhere. That's all right. We will get that up later. That's why I have my little vacuum. All right, so I kind of have an idea in mind. I really liked, and it just happened to come up on Amazon when I clicked on the picture. But I really like this blue and the red color scheme, so I think I'm gonna go with that for this. It's gonna be a little different because I've got a silver teapot. So I think my background's gonna be red. Or I might do it blue. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to have to pretty soon, but I do have, this is my Turkish chai pot that I used to, one of them that I used to make. So it's a good frame or reference for me. So I was going to sit it here so I could see how the light is falling. And I'm going to do something a little different because I'm going to color the pot in pencil to make it look like silver. Now, I have a set of videos that I watched long ago, and they're by Coloring with Miss Martley, I believe. And she does a video where she colors down all of the different metals: bronze, silver, tin, steel. And I can link that below if you are interested. But silver is, and I still to this day have not found a colored pencil set that has more grays or a better selection of grays than Prismacolor. Although she does do it with both. She does it with Prismacolor and Polychromos. And then there are people that convert these. So you might be able, through different conversions, be able to find them. But it's basically, you got a 10%, 20% cool gray, 30% cool gray, a 50% cool gray, and you got a 70%. No, that's not right. It's supposed to be a warm gray. Hang on, I gotta grab. The 70% is a warm gray, not a cool gray. Where is it? 30, 50. Aha, here we go. That's the only difference. They're all cool grays except for the 70%, and then it's a warm gray. So, my bad. I missed that. Okay. And then a white pencil. Now, you can use your Prismacolor white, or you can use like a Derwent Chinese white. Both of them are fabulous. I got them both here just to see. Now, the thing that's going to mess me up is I always do light to dark shading, and the way she did it was dark to light. So I'm going to try to do it that way. And I have my little pot sitting here to look at. I think I'm going to make blue flowers on it, but we'll see. Like I said, I may end up doing this in like a blue color, and then, but the red is so stunning. We'll see. Maybe I should just make my pot blue. I don't know. I thought this would be fun. Let's see. So we're starting with the dark. Basically, so we're gonna, I need my glasses on. And it's gonna mess me up a lot, I know, because I do not do dark shading first. I always have trouble with it. I don't know why. It seems like it just always leaves lines when I try to do the dark first, and I'm sure it's because I'm doing it wrong, but it is what it is. I could just make this whole thing kind of darker. And then I know that because this is here, it's going to be dark. Plus, it's always hard for me to tell what the dark parts are at first, but I can always go back and add dark. So how is everyone? It's nice to see you back. Or at least I'm glad to have you back. If you've been watching, last week was a very long week for me. I'm actually doing this video a little later than I usually do because I was so busy, and I honestly did not have the energy yesterday to do it. So I'm doing it today. So let's hope I can get it up. If not, it'll be late. I'm sure everybody will understand. Sometimes they just, you never know whether it's going to upload in a decent amount of time, or if it's just going to be like, nope, I'm not uploading. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Now, I suck at coloring metal. I mean, I'm not terrible, but it's been a while, so, and I'm kind of using her reference points to shade. I'm trying to decide what my lid's gonna look like. It's not hard once you do it a couple of times, and then you're like, oh yeah, but it's all personal preference. I mean, everybody does it different. I watched videos where I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't do it that way. And you just know. Not that what they're doing is wrong, it's just that you know from the way you color that you're not going to do it that way. And that wouldn't work for you. So basically what she does is she starts with the dark color, and you just slowly go up to the lightest color and fill in, and that will hopefully make silver. No, it does. It does. This is my 50%. And my paper is not the best paper. I'll go over this. And I don't think it'll take all that long either. I'm a pencil girl. I mean, I love to color with pencil. I think I get better results. It's just that, to be honest, I haven't had all that much time. It takes a lot more time. Although sometimes I know when I watch people color with pencil, I'm like, I'm making this harder than it is, because some people just, you don't have to color every stitch of the page. And I think that's where I make my mistake, is like, I feel like I have to color every inch of it, and leaving white space, is part of the art of it is figuring out how to leave your white space. Now this, I won't have really any white space. It'll be colored in gray, but it'll probably look white. The problem is in Miss Martley, she's coloring little buckets. And so they're not the same shape as this. So I'm just kind of going off how I know to color. Let's hope that this comes out right. Or at least how I want it to. Oh, I need to put some down here. And then, you know, in the end, we can blend it all out. So I think that mostly Americans and Canadians and people that are not in England call it English breakfast tea. And that the English, I mean, if anybody's watching this and they live in England, I mean, I'm assuming you call it breakfast tea. And I'm sure that there are so many different blends, or maybe there's one, like, you know, a lot of restaurants serve Lipton tea, or not even Lipton anymore. But maybe it would be nice to know. I've never gotten a chance to ask any of the people that I know in England what they, you know, about their tea, to be honest. Put a little bit here because that's where our lid is sitting. And you have to think about the curve of things. It's funny, I've watched artists draw and they're just like chook, 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 chook. I'm like, wow, I am making that so hard. They use the less is more philosophy, and I'm like, that's so hard. But I'm learning, you know, every page is learning experience. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make sure I get my shading. And like, you know, everyone says, I mean, Candace is right. I've been watching Happy Catastrophe, Candace, and she's totally right. She said what I was thinking a long time ago was that every picture goes through an ugly stage. And it is so true. I mean, sharpen these. Is this one the 30%? Okay, so we've done 70% warm gray, and we're doing 30%, and we did 50% cool gray. Now we're doing 30% cool gray. And you just figure out where you want your lightest parts to be, which on my pot are kind of in the middle, you know, and mine has a flower in the middle, which is kind of causing a little consternation. And then I'll either take a blender pencil or the white pencil and blend it out to make it look a little better. And she just literally takes, you know, a little bit, just add your lighter color as you go along. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And blends it out, and it makes a nice silver teapot. I could be using some of these colors. I'll probably use my lightest color to blend. It's just hard with, she doesn't have in her video as many surfaces as I have on this teapot. And it will look better when I blend it out. I typically use a blender pencil I envy those people that can use just the pencils. I mean, I think it's a skill that you eventually learn, but I don't know. I'm either too heavy-handed. Now this is 20% cool gray. So I went down a little bit. I have such a hard time blending with just the pencils. It depends though. See how I'm getting that, for whatever reason, whenever I do dark first, I get a really stark difference. But then again, I haven't gone back and blended this out yet, so we'll see. I'm gonna do our 10%, which is gonna be our lightest color. Plus it's Amazon paper, which makes it very difficult to blend out in some respects. But I think it'll be a cute little teapot when we're done. I may go over the black lines when we're done. I don't know. I haven't decided. And I think you blend it with the white pencil, but the gray is working. I tend to like to use a blender pencil rather than a white pencil, but I have used both. It just depends on the effect I'm going for. Like I said, I may have to go over with I may have to either erase this line or whatever, I don't know. We'll try blending this out because I think that the white pencil is going to give it more of a silvery effect. I've been using a little marker lately because, you know, your pencils don't dry out. And I think at some point when you're new, you start collecting markers because you want to, you know, find a set, and then you get different sets, and I've gotten rid of some, and over the years I've gotten rid of some, but I don't have a lot. I certainly don't have as many as some people, but they eventually dry out, and some dry out faster than others, I think. I'm coloring and not drinking my tea. Ah, caffeine. I do love English breakfast tea. We did a tea for my mom's garden club this weekend, my husband and I, and it was so funny. Because they kept asking me, I mean, I've known all the girls in my mom's garden club pretty much my entire life. And because small town America, you know, everybody knows everybody. And, yeah, probably gonna have to go back with this and a pencil, like a blender pencil. But I like like it. I think it's going to look the way I want to. I mean, this is just the beginning. It's got a nice finish to it. And the white pencil is really blending it out nicely. I don't know if it looks like silver or not, but I'll probably have to use some white gel pen. I never think to use white gel pen. I love white gel pen, and I honestly never think about it when I'm doing my pictures. It's really weird. I don't know how some people think about it all the time, and I just look at it and I don't bother. It's really weird because I want to. So we're gonna try to do that, make some shiny in this one. We're gonna get a blender pencil and blend some of this out. I was watching a video. I'll get back to what I was talking about in a minute. I was watching a video the other day. I don't remember what it was on. Let me think for a minute. It was yesterday, actually. I was watching a video of coloring. Oh, stained glass. I think it was the Coloring Heaven. Coloring Heaven did a video on coloring stained glass flowers. And so she said that she was telling us to use a burnisher rather than a blending pencil because it gives you like this nice smooth finish, which I have one. I have this is the burnisher. Derwent has a burnisher blender set that you can get, and I've never really figured out how to use it properly, I guess. But she says it gives it a nice shiny look. But I don't know. I feel like it looks a little muddy. Like I didn't do something right. But I'll work with it a little more. We'll get it. It just takes time. So anyway, I did a tea. We did a tea for my mom's garden club in my hometown this past weekend. And I have all this stuff, you know, I have little teapots. So everyone gets their own teapot, just like if you go to a tea, only these are smaller. Everyone gets their own individual, where if you go to a tea, it's like you order a tea for the table and you get like a big pot, generally, for an afternoon tea. And then, I think it'll look better when I go back and clean up my lines. And the girls in my mom's garden club made finger sandwiches and stuff like that. And it was fabulous. It was really neat because we had the serving trays in the middle of the table. It was really a nice tea. And the girls kept asking me, like I said, I've known them all my life, and they're like, how did you get into doing this? Well, it was because of them. And I think most of them have just forgotten that years ago. So my hometown has a Christmas thing, a Christmas parade called the Jingle Bell, and it's the weekend before Thanksgiving every year. And some years back, I don't even remember when it was, they wanted to do a tea for charity. And Mom knew that I was into tea, and so she asked if I could do it. And so I don't know. I figured, and at the time I would go to Germany in October, and I would always come back with a ton of tea, and I would be like, I wouldn't have to order any tea. I'm like, I can just use what I have, you know, and I'm happy to donate it, because the money would go towards the library we're building, or, you know, so whatever charity we picked out for that year. And so all of, you know, my time and my tea and stuff, that was my donation, you know. And as over the years, we ended up, we would do one every year at the Jingle Bell. And it became a thing. And then, of course, like with many things, the pandemic came along, and it kind of did away with that for the most part. And there were other issues, political issues in the town, so that we won't get into. But anyway, so there wasn't a Jingle Bell, and then it had to get reorganized. And my mom was on the Jingle Bell committee for years, but you know, she's tired. I don't want to, she's not old. She's only 75. But she's, you know, you get tired of doing the same thing after so long, I think. And it's hard work. I mean, some of the things that they would do are just really hard work. All right, I think that'll look really good. I might be able to feather this out just a hair. So it's different people that run it now. And I think they were disappointed because we didn't have a lot of people show up, but it's a small town, and I think that we just need to either do one regularly so that people know and can look forward to it, or do it in conjunction with some kind of an event. Like, you know, there's different events that go on in my hometown every year, so we could put it together with that. I still think the next time I do this, I'm going to do light to dark. Or I'll do everything but the darkest color. Because for some reason, doing dark first never works for me. And I don't know if I just have a heavy hand, which I do. But I can never blend out the dark when I put it down first. And I don't know why. Because everyone else, you know, everyone has their own way of doing things. You have to find what works for you. And I can tell you, starting with dark first generally doesn't work for me. But I keep trying. I do keep trying. I think I need to clean up my lines too. All right. So we have a silver teapot. We will darken our lines, and I'll either erase them or make them darker with a pen or something so they don't look all chalky like that. And that'll clean it up quite a bit, I think. I have to decide what color my flower is going to be. And I could use my teapot as an example. I could do like a blues and things like that. So, but I figured everyone would want to watch me color a silver teapot. But anyway, let me go figure out what the rest of this picture should look like, and I will do it. Yeah, I'm liking it more. I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, it looks, I think when you're doing it, when you're sitting there and you're really close to it and you're like, ugh, I don't like this. And then you stand up and you look at it and you're like, huh, that doesn't look so bad. So, all right. And maybe you learned something, like how to color silver. Her video is really good though. Miss Marley, Coloring with Miss Marley. Her video is very informative, and it's very quick because she's coloring these little buckets. Anyway, have I gone back and forth to enough subjects today for you? I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop doing that. I'm trying to stay on and not jump around so much. But anyway, I'll go do that and I will be back. All right, so I am done. And this is what I came up with. It doesn't look anything like I thought it was, but I'm happy with it. You know, I'm trying really hard to not do the normal things that I would do with color. And I still am. So I'm staying true to myself, yet I'm mixing it up a little, you know, and I made some decisions when I started doing things. I went through and erased some of the lines so that you could see them a little better, so that looks better. So I have a silver pot and little cups, and I tried to do, hopefully the gold on this doesn't look jinky, but if it does, it's because I did it in pencil and I forgot that Miss Martley's colors for the gold she uses black, and I find the black too harsh, and I just started doing the same thing I did up here, and then I didn't like it, so I erased it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use a gold Wink Stella. So that's what I did. You can see it's nice and gold. It's pretty. I like the colors. It's sort of like the box, the reference photo that I showed you. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. And next week, oops, that's my door. Next week is, I don't know why that's sticking. Probably got something on there. Ginger tea. So that'll be fun. Oh, this will be a fun picture. This is so different than all the other ones. It's going to be so tropical. Greens and oranges and yellows. Yep. We're going to have fun with this one. And a clear glass. Yep. I'm getting lots of practice with glass. So that'll be fun. I hope y'all join me. I hope you have a great week. Until then, I'm going to try to do more color and chats on my channel. We will see. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.